Thank you for the briefing. I'm Dawn Clancy with Pass Blue. I have a follow-up and then a question. You mentioned the survivors that you didn't get to meet with, that you were told that they are seeking specialized treatment, they're too traumatized. How do you know that? Who told you that they're seeking?
I'm sorry, I cannot disclose that information.
Okay. Then my other questions, and forgive me, because I feel like with this report I'm now a little bit more confused than I was before I read it. I noticed on social media that you had met with a Zaka volunteer. His name's Yossi Landau. Yossi Landau has been in the media. He was in the New York Times investigation that has been through the shredder at this point as far as figuring out what's accurate and what's not. In this report, you mentioned that there was a media report about a woman who was pregnant, her stomach was ripped open, the baby was ripped out, it was stabbed, the umbilical cord. That story came from Yossi Landau, who on social media you can see on their Zaka Instagram page you met with. So when I see that, and then I read this report, I'm lost. To what extent do I believe this? This isn't an investigation, but it kind of is. So then how is this any different than the New York Times story if you're just collecting evidence? I'm just really trying to, I mean, if I'm not being clear, please let me know and I'll try to.
Well, you are indeed not very clear, but
what wasn't clear?
Well, I mean, I don't get the gist of the question. I mean, I think my report is pretty straightforward. We explained that we went to 4 different locations based on.
But my question is, you met with Yossi Landau.
Yes,
he's the creator of that.
I will. No, I get your question. I mean, first of all, because you're talking about social media, yes, indeed, you've seen the photo, and it was at Kibbutz Be'eri. It was at Kibbutz Be'eri, and if you read the section of the report, starting with paragraph 62, we say what we have been able to verify, and that we went there because of the attention paid to Kibbutz Be'eri and sexual violence. And I have mentioned in my report at least 2 allegations previously reported that we found to be unfounded, and we explained that it's due to either new superseding information or inconsistency in the information gathered, including first responder testimonies, photographic evidence, and other information. And I give two examples. Yes, we found it to be unfounded.
Can I just follow up really quick, please? The reason I'm asking this is because there are real consequences to this report. I mean, I know you keep saying the Commission of Inquiry, they need to go and do their investigation, which I believe they're doing, but the Israeli ambassador to the UN has said publicly, we're not going to cooperate with that. So that recommendation is already DOA, I guess you could say. Are you at all concerned that this report, sexual violence against women, this is being weaponized as a way to continue violence in Gaza? That's why I'm asking these questions, because this is an important report.
Well, I understand that the invitation to me came as a result of pressure from civil society organizations in Israel and academia. And I do hope, and I can tell you that when I was there, no one told me it's too little, too late, or you came too late. On the contrary, many interlocutors told me, we are still mourning. Why are you here? And why this narrow focus on sexual violence? And everywhere, throughout the report, you see that I mentioned that could not be verified, and verification would entail a proper investigation. And I hope that the relevant stakeholders in Israel would pick it up and put pressure on their government to have a fully fledged investigation that would be able to cast real light on what really happened or close to get as close as possible to what happened. And I fully agree with what you're saying. I mean, that is why, in spite of not being an investigation, I did not want to go and to rubber stamp anything that's given to me. And I took the trouble of including, I'm a small office, I am almost totally dependent on extra budgetary resources, but still found it necessary to equip myself with some expertise that included a forensic pathologist and a digital analyst.